Okay, so welcome everyone. And we're just going to have a meditation, and I'm going to just take you through what I think is a really good focus for the first day. So as we know today, the earth is in crisis, environmentally, politically, financially, and individually, there's mentally, and relationships are in tatters. So this affects everything. It affects our relationships with each other. It affects animals. It affects marine life. It affects the flora. It affects the fauna, because we're all connected together. And we're all here originally to be in relationships with each other. And there's a beautiful saying, at the beginning when we first came on the earth, it was a love story. And now it's become a tragedy. And this is because of all these things. And we've built walls and separated everything. So for our meditation today, what I'd like to do is like a visualization, and just see us all coming together. And just sit and let our minds see togetherness, the whole world together. Let the whole world be building bridges so everyone can cross, and coming to solutions that everyone can agree with. Let's see peace being expressed, love being shown, and happiness an outcome. Our world depends on this energy. It starts with our thoughts which will create feelings, and feelings will then be put into action. So let's come together. As the Beatles used to say, let's come together right now and let it begin. Let's have peaceful thoughts. Let's have loving feelings, and let happiness come into the world. And if these vibrations reach everyone in Azerbaijan, may they start in the right way. So let's see peace, see togetherness, show love, and express our happy feelings through vibrations. Om Shanti.
Everyone, my name is Tetsu. As Maureen mentioned, I am a Japanese Catholic who lives in Japan. I also practice Zen and yoga over 15 years. I have lived in Sydney, Australia for a number of years to study nursing and theology. The experience to live in Australia was great. I enjoyed the multiculturalism of Australia, to hang out with friends from all different cultural backgrounds. Today, I would like to talk about what can meditation offer to climate crisis. Climate crisis is triggered by rampant capitalism, which is driven by consumerism and materialism. Our lifestyle of consumerism and materialism causes rampant capitalism to bring about global warming. Meditation can offer alternative lifestyle to transcend consumerism and materialism, which can slow down the movement of rampant capitalism to protect our planet. Through meditation, we can experience the happiness which consumerism and materialism cannot offer. It is experience of I have nothing, but I am happy. I am content with what I have, which is a state of mind which Psalm 23rd presents, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This state of mind is the kingdom of heaven in Christianity, nirvana in Buddhism, and reality in Hinduism and yoga. Meditation is a practical means to experience the central teaching of all religions to transcend consumerism and materialism, to cause rampant capitalism to destroy our planet. When we live in the movement of consumerism and materialism, we are never satisfied. We always think that we have to gain more to be happy. In the endless movement of consumerism and materialism, we constantly feel lack, never to be satisfied and happy. Meditation can offer us permanent happiness, which is always present and never be taken away, to satisfy the lack which is felt in consumerism and materialism. In this way, meditation can bring about salvation in your personal life, to lead alternative lifestyle, to slow down rampant capitalism, and to protect our planet. The good outcome of meditation is proved in medical science these days to encourage the meditators all over the world. Let's practice meditation to realize the alternative lifestyle to consumerism and materialism, to slow down rampant capitalism, to protect our planet. And let's gain the eternal happiness which meditation can offer. Thanks for listening to my talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the welcome, and lovely to see you all. Can you hear what I'm saying? Maybe just nod, or yeah. All good? The sound is fine? Okay. It is a delight to be with you all, and I'm honored to say a few words this morning and lead us into a shared meditation for the earth on this day, as mentioned before, when the world leaders meet in Baku, Azerbaijan, for this year's very important climate change conference, also known as COP29. On behalf of us all, I begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land that I am on, the Whadjuk Noongar people of the southwest of Australia, and I pay my respects to the elders past and present, and I extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who may be listening this morning or who will be listening to the recording on another time. In the introduction video to the COP29 meeting, the UN Climate Change Executive Secretary Simon Steele said the following, and I quote, "COP29 is a vital moment for the world. We have the solutions to tackle the climate crisis. The decision made at COP28 laid the foundation. Now it is time to get on with it. We need to accelerate the transition to renewable energy and phase out fossil fuel quickly, but also fairly. Everyone has a role to play. We rise together or we fall together. So let's make COP29 count, unquote. This year's climate change summit is indeed a vital moment for the world, and we've been waiting patiently and sometimes not so patiently for the leaders of the world to agree to binding targets, which will reverse the dangerous trajectory of climate change and instead put us on a path towards the transition into a more sustainable world. We do indeed rise and fall together. Everything is connected, from small villages in rural areas to vast sprawling cities, from the rainforest in the Amazon, the lungs of the world, to the great river Nile in the North African continent, from the glaciers in the Himalayas to the oldest rocks here in Western Australia. Everything is interlinked and interdependent. What we do in one corner of the world affects everyone. Our home, this small blue dot spinning in the darkness of the universe, is the perfect place for life to form, to grow, and to multiply. From giant sea turtles gracing our deep blue oceans to giraffes on the African savanna, from wild deer in the lush forests to tiny little bilbies in the dry Australian red deserts, the earth is a stunning home for tens and tens of thousands of species. Our earth is so very precious, and it is, as the late theologian Thomas Berry used to say, the primary vehicle for revelation. We human beings are but custodians for a brief moment on this stunning planet, and it is up to us to care for it and make sure that it is left in good shape for future generations of life forms like us to marvel in and to live in and to make it our home. However, due to anthropocentric philosophy now adopted by most human beings across the entire world, we have alienated ourselves from the earth and its life forms. We have created environmental dis-ease, and we have now caused dangerous climate change, which threatens not only thousands of species, but also threatens ourselves. And particularly, it threatens the most vulnerable and poorer nations on the earth. But, as Simon Steele says, we have the solutions to tackle the climate crisis, and we must rise together to the occasion and work in unison to change our dependency on fossil fuels and our addiction to unsustainable living. However, it can be difficult at times to be hopeful that the world leaders will rise to this momentous challenge to decisively combat climate change. With the recent election last week in the US of a self-described climate change denier who already once rejected the Paris Agreement, it is easy to become cynical and lose initiative and hope and energy. After all, if the big powers in the world refuse to recognize the problems, how can we expect them to work to create solutions to very complex problems? And the election of Donald Trump is indeed a setback in the much-needed transition away from fossil fuels, as are, I will also add, the devastating wars in the Ukraine, in the Middle East, and in the Sudan. But we must not lose hope. As people of the Spirit, committed to the common good and a sustainable world, our shared meditation every day and today needs to make room for our painful emotions. But our frustrations must not lead us to apathy and depression. Indeed, as the late Zen Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said when asked if we should be worried about the state of the world, he said, What is most important is not to allow our anxiety about what happens in the world to fill your heart. If your heart is filled with anxiety, you will get sick and you will not be able to help. We are hurting, but we cannot allow our pain to fill our entire hearts and minds. We need to look for the signs of hope, and we need to be energized to create the changes needed in our local environments, while at the same time, we also lobby our leaders, both locally and globally, to take decisive action. So while we wait and hope, let's keep breathing out love. Let's keep breathing out peace and prayers towards all people and for the preservation of all species and for the earth. As we sit silently together today, united across different religious traditions and no religious traditions, let us hold all the participants in COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, in the light of God or the divine. Let us pray that they may be filled with courage and inspiration to commit to the changes needed so that we can move towards a more sustainable future, recognizing that we do indeed rise or fall together. And so, may God, the source of all existence, fill our meditation with love, with peace and divine energy, and may it spread from our meditation and from our beings today into the world and onto all the participants of COP29 and all around the globe, so that together, people, wherever they are, may be moved with courage to make the changes now that we all know is needed. And so may God bless our meditation and our prayers for the earth today. Thank you.
Well, I'm very, very glad to be here because I couldn't get it to work either this morning. And I only just got it saying it's not working, so on my side. So yeah, I'm very glad to be here because I thought I wasn't going to be here at all. So I don't want to cover some of the ground that I thought Bishop Hans covered very, very beautifully and eloquently yesterday. I want to talk about the opportunity that this period of meditation and any period of meditation affords, especially in the relationship to this crisis and any crises, or any talks and frustration, these sorts of things that arise from day to day, moment to moment. I want to say that I think the big misunderstanding of us sitting here sometimes is that we should sit here to gain some peace and serenity. And in fact, it is the teaching of the historical Buddha and Christ and a great many traditions around the world that we actually, that this moment to moment, we sit in crisis and opportunity at the same time, simultaneously. Without knowing this sort of crises that we find ourselves in, we cannot know real truth in our lives. So today, as we're thinking of the GOP conference and the climate crises that we find ourselves in, we shouldn't be sitting here to escape from our lives, escape from the situation, but we should be sitting here to take power in our sitting, the pranic power that the traditions teach, the same power that Christ teaches. Find that power in your sitting. It will not always be beautiful. This is the opportunity that we have. So, of course, we want to have an outcome that will favor the rejuvenation of the world, the stopping of our problems and so forth. But for our sitting, we should, that side is the action side. In our sitting, we should sit to confront and generate our power, our wisdom power, in order to take that on when we leave the cushion. Okay. So, thank you.
Nothing is more important than our hearts being filled with understanding the need of the hour. And there's many needs, but not so many hours. And the need right now is to do with climate change, but the seed of climate change is all around our touching base with the beauty and goodness within myself, especially, and seeing that in others. And as I change, the climate will change, the elements will change, the world will change. So each day, including now, I go deep inside to this very beautiful hidden place. Where there's so much love, so much compassion, and peace, so much peace. And joy. Let me touch base with those beautiful, the essence of me. And let it have permission. I give permission to that beautiful self to flow once more out into the world. That beautiful essence of my peace and love and joy to flow to the elements, including everything with the climate, to flow to others, and bringing along with that the power of the divine of God watching over us, knowing our hearts are so wanting for this to heal and bring the change everyone wants. Om Shanti. I am a peaceful soul.
The results of the state election in Queensland we weren't so happy about. The election in the United States, which is wondering what's going to happen over there. And it's very easy to get confused and frustrated. And so I think one of the things we need to do is come back to basics. Believe in God, who is in control, whatever our faith background is, to acknowledge creation as a provision for us and us being a part of that creation. And as Maureen said, that creation's there to provide us with resources, but also to give us responsibilities. So thought we'd focus our attention this morning on just trying to be silent, come into our spirit, and just allow us to go beyond the turmoil, the doubts, trusting in God who is in control, God who directs our thoughts, our actions, and how we respond. We might respond in a way that our faith provides a sense of hope, a sense of lifting the leaders that make decisions, that they might hear and be guided by things above capitalism and money and selfishness and all of those things. And just before we go into silence, I thought I'd share with you, it's a Indigenous thought based on the Christian Beatitudes in the Christian Bible, and it helps us to focus. Blessed are you, birds of the air, for the joy of dawn song. Blessed are you, creatures of the deep, for the grandeur of life's diversity. Blessed are you, lilies of the field, for the beauty that blooms in all beings. Blessed are you, mustard seed, for the dream of your tiny seed. Blessed are you, rock, for the sculptures of nature's artistry. Blessed are you, desert wilderness, for the clarity of strength that flows from your inner quiet. Blessed are you, centuries of gum trees, for the precious gift of your presence, a life so full of life. Blessed are you, you sure-of-foot donkey, for your self-assurance and dignity. Blessed are you, goat, for having a mind of your own. Blessed are you, stray of the flock, for the joy of being carried home. Blessed are you, graceful snake, for bearing the blame of our betrayal and fear. Blessed are you, vine, for the wine that gladdens our hearts. Blessed are you, field of grain, for the bread we break together and share. Blessed are we all, daughters and sons of wondrous land, for land's resolve is to nurture and care for each of us, and to rejoice in our blooming. So let us reflect in silence.